Shall we play a game?
G'day viewers, I'm still eating breakfast. Oh, don't put the shirt on. Don't put the shirt on, eh? Hang on. How is everybody? Hello to Engrave, Mark B, Dave Randall, Data Magi, Aiden's Trains Adventures. There we go. Shirt's on. We're coming to you from the Xbox today. Partly because I want to stream from the Xbox. And partly because my PC is giving me the shits. Hello, New York, Texas Railroad. So, I'll be facing this way today, which means I'm going to get this side of my head, sorry. And, oh yeah, I've got these headphones on. No, whatever. Anyway, it's all good. Just still trying to get set up a little bit. Would you be at all surprised to know I'm still eating breakfast? Because I've been mucking around with my PC. Trying to make it work. Because it's really annoying today and yesterday. After the couple of crashes I had yesterday when I switched to the Xbox, it was, well, a bit crap. Aiden's Train Adventures, did anyone else see Shall We Play a Game? Yeah, it's there. It even says it, dude. Ooh, what did I just do? I went into settings. That wasn't clever. Anyway, we're going to run from... excuse me. We're going to run all the way. Do we run the two-parter? Nah, let's just go for it. Let's just go the full 2 hours. And do we want clear? I think we want some clouds, don't we? Surely. Never rains. Could be like New York. Wow. Could they ever get blasted? Alright, now how's the voice versus the Xbox sound? Yes, I don't have much DLC on the box, Dave, because interestingly, I haven't downloaded my Train Sim World 3 stuff on the Xbox. Now, first thing I need to do, it's Y to get up, isn't it? Excuse me while I figure out this thing, because it'll take me a little while. Because I don't use the Xbox that much, to be honest. Now, which unmarked breaker is it? I think it's that one. That one? There we go. Got it. Okay. Back in the chair. And we'll put our reverser in. And put that forward. Now, headlights. Headlights look like they're okay. Gen field might be handy. Come on. How do people move just a little bit with a controller? Come on. Come on. There we go. Right, now we're going to cut the brakes in. Passenger. And release. Let's just get it into normal service. There we go. And let's get the doors open. Window. Yeah, it's Los Angeles. It's going to be hot. Let's open the windows. Oh, this air conditioning crap. Now, up here, probably want the number board lights on. And front marker lights. Actually, no, I don't want the front marker lights because they're red, aren't they? Oh, don't do that. No, don't push that button. Ah. It's going to stay off. Right, I think we're ready to go. Once we load up. Now, is this one of those ones where I have to change the track? Because I've got a red signal up the end there? We'll see. Let's lock the doors. Let's see if we're allowed to go. So who have we got in the chat today? We have... Oh, I've said hello to everybody. Oh, except you, Burke, who's unfortunately actually working on the trains today. Engrave logged an interesting bug today. GWR HST wipers don't wipe off the rain with the new rain effects. Well, that's interesting. Aiden asks if I'm feeling a little bit better. Yes. And Dave Randall says, yeah, with all DLC and Xbox really unstable. I haven't actually put a heap on there. I still have a red signal. Let's cheat and use the keyboard. want to zoom in. Zoom in, zoom in. How do I zoom in? God, there's got to be a way, surely. Is my path right? There's got to be a way to zoom in. No, no, no. Uh-oh. Did I just add a waypoint? God damn it. I think I did. But that's okay. We'll figure it out later. Brakes off. Bit of horn. And let's get out of here. Hopefully I didn't just change my own path, because that would be a bit shit. Won't go too hard, because there's another red round the corner. Hello, Rails of Illinois. Set this up on my phone. Hopefully it'll keep working so that I can see the chat right in front of me. How odd that I'm using the bell on a day when Rails of Illinois is there, because he's always telling me, hey, use the bell. How do you turn the bell off with the controller? Fortunately, I have a keyboard. It'll be fine. It'll be all good. Trigger button zoom in. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, New York. I don't pretend to be good with the Xbox by any means, but I really need to learn it better. And what better way to learn it than to drive for ages? I'm going a little bit fast, but that's okay. Who's going to stop me? I'm only doing 10 miles an hour more. What's the problem? I think I've got a keyboard so I can do screenshots like that. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 carriages. So it's a pretty light load, really. It's a little shorty. Nothing much to see on the screens on this one. This screen's kind of useless. This screen's a useful one telling you what's going on in the train, but we don't really have to do anything with any of it, just look at it. Fine day with Simpsons clouds in Los Angeles, clearly. Actually got passengers. We got to Lancaster at this time of day. That's all the people from tech companies who just got fired and all going home. Elon Musk just kicked them all out. That's the hot dog man. I'm sad that in free roam mode you can't go over there, because the whole yard's clearly modelled and there's a lot of buildings and stuff, so I'd love to be able to go over there and play in the yard, but you can't. Very annoying. Given that feedback. Power's not straight. Never noticed that before. Here we have the car park that when I first saw this game you couldn't actually get into because there were no gates on the crossing. Speaking of the crossing. The horns sound worse on the Xbox. It's not like me, is it? Archimedes joys of technology, that is correct. I'm running with just one RAM stick in the PC that's streaming this at the moment, and I passed an Intel Extreme Red test, so we'll see what happens. I've basically put a new cooler in the machine, which has helped a lot. The CPU's not thermal throttling anymore. I did that yesterday. So the only 3 things that are really left, I've changed so much stuff. over the last 2 or 3 weeks trying to sort this out. The only things that are really left are RAM, CPU, and motherboard. Now, I really hope I haven't fried another bloody CPU, because I don't see Intel replacing it twice. They were pretty good about it the first time, because it fried itself. It wasn't really me. I don't know they'd replace it a second time, which leaves the board. And the board should be okay, because even though it was actually the board that died and it fried the CPU, the board was replaced. I have another board I could use, but the next thing I'm trying is RAM, and I pulled out one stick, and we'll see how it goes on the one stick. That's the alerter. So it's just a very expensive trial and error situation. I now have that thing I said I'd never do. I have a water-cooled PC. Richard. Hello. Aiden says Super Mario reference, and who's going to stop me? Well, no one, because I used to be in a large youth movement supporting kids, and my name in that movement was in fact Evil Mario. So, you know, I have the costume. Richard says, I do like Antelope wine, best DLC and those released with TSW4. I quite like it. I'm not that huge a fan of really long runs, but I don't mind this one, because at least you get to stop in places and open your doors and do things like that. The graphics are actually quite different on the Xbox. Nowhere near as much detail, but the interesting thing is, while there's nowhere near as much detail, there's nowhere near as much pop-in as there is on a PC, because it's simply not drawing all that other stuff. Which makes me think, should I just turn all that crap with shadows off on the PC? It's an interesting thought. When I get it working again, anyway. Heading up to Glendale, not that far to go, I don't think. 2.6 miles, not too far at all. Have I not heard the alerter or something? Because I seem to be stopping and having my brakes applied a little bit. Yes, we've blown PCS. Makes me think I didn't hear the alerter. That makes me very, very sad. What's my frame rate light on the Xbox? Pretty poor. 23. PC, it's awesome. This isn't PC. Yes, proceeded signals indicate. Thank you. Let's release the brakes and see if it lets me go. Does appear to be charging up, so let's get out of here. Out, pull the brakes while they charge up and release. Does that mean you can't hear the alerter when you're outside the train? That'll be a bit crap, really, won't it? I think. Yeah, shouldn't do anything. I've turned the alerter off. Because if you can't hear it outside the train, that's going to be a bit hard. It says, at least you'll end up with a new build PC. I always cannibalise my previous PC when updating. Yeah, so do I, but this time round I've got... Well, I put in a new board and a new processor, a new RAM a while ago. And it was stable for quite a long time, and then I fried the processor. So I got that replaced. When the new processor came, it turned out the board was bad, so I replaced the board. Both got replaced for free, fortunately. But to get going again, I bought another board. We had a drama with that one. Makes me think really competent, doesn't it? And I had lots of fun. I've recently put a new power supply in it, in case it was a power supply issue, and it turned out not to be, so I've got a perfectly good 850 watt power supply. that can go into another build. Wife's been after a new PC for the father-in-law, so I dare say one of the motherboards and cards sitting up there on the shelf will go into a PC for him. He only watches YouTube videos though, it's a bit overkill to give him a graphics card, but there you go. It's lots of fun. Hello, C. Charles of Illinois says, 2 blasts on the horn, yes. Richard says, I always do the shorter routes on this route, the longer ones take too long for my sensibility. That's okay. We're not too far off now. Yeah, 1 mile to go. I don't want to be set up. Stay idle. We'll let gravity do the work of slowing us down for the moment. I do think this route represents Los Angeles really well, except for one thing. The trackside's not completely covered in trash, as it would be called locally. Australia would call it rubbish, but very much trash in the United States. Quite at this end, isn't it? Just that brake. Roll in for the last little bit. I am okay, see. Getting better from my cold, still coughing a little bit, but definitely getting better. Yes, Scott Gray and homeless people, you are correct. It's an unfortunate part of the world at the moment. It's a new PC term for homeless. I heard a new one the other day. Temporarily without roof or something stupid like that. Hello, citizens of Glendale. Prepare to go to Lancaster. I like that there's a level crossing in the middle of the platform. I thought this was silly when I saw it in testing, but I went and looked on Googly Maps and it really is there. Say in the classic. That'll do. The people outside go, the doors are now open. Please stand clear. The opening doors. Where are they opening? I'm sure I opened it. So I want the other doors too. Okay, both doors open. It seems to be that kind of platform. I don't know if... Whoops. I just locked them. Oh no! Stop locking them. Brainiac. I'll just open them again when they shut. It's fine. It seems like the kind of platform where you open both. There you go. Open up. Now, did I lock these ones too? I did. There you go, folks. In you get. You don't want to get in, do you, though? You all want to get LA. You just want to walk around aimlessly until you go to Los Angeles. Nice little hills over there. Self-storage place. They're kind of ubiquitous. Unless you're moving house or you need to have a temporary storage place for a few days while you sort something out. I don't really understand the storage idea. Seems to me if you've got that much crap, then get rid of your crap. Did I actually release the brakes all the way? Not quite. Richard says he's finally started to use the new HUD this evening. It's only had TSW4 since early access. You get used to it quite quickly. You do. You really do. I strongly encourage people to give it a try. I would like to see station stops on it though. I really would. On the track monitor on the right hand side. Rails of Illinois, any keys? I'll pay for TSW4 whenever I can. I actually do have some Xbox keys. I'll have to find them. Is there interest in... I don't have a TSW4 key, but I've got some DLC keys. So if you bought one of the regional packs or one of the standard editions... no standard edition, you'd have everything I've got. Edgegrave says, have you seen the flooding in New York City is experiencing? The metro is really pumping more water than usual. They've actually shut down 4 subway lines, I believe. The G, the F, the A, and the 4 are all closed. A friend of mine lives in Brooklyn. She's very fortunate, and she lives in a upper story apartment. Some of her relatives live in basement apartments. Last time I was there, I stayed in a basement apartment, so those people are probably a bit wet, which is a bit unattractive, really. It says they blow the horn at Glendale in real life. Don't care. C says, good, glad your last day tomorrow on steroids and a couple of days and antibiotics. So I've got, when did I start mine? 23rd, so I've got about 5 more days on the antibiotics. Richard says some of the speedometers in the cabin's quite tricky to read when using the old HUD. That is very true, especially on lower resolutions. Oops, horn. Trying to read the chat then and look up and go, level crossing. The yellow signal. Probably shouldn't go and not joke then. Richard says stream is fine, 1440p. Oops. It's very hard to read the chat now. Train will slow down more by itself now, we've got gravity. Aiden says streaming the Morville Rose Festival train while riding on board, which would be fun. Well, that'd be cool. Hopefully not be streaming when you do that. Richard says stream is fine, 1440p in Rotterdam. So it is actually going out in 1440p. Huh. Okay. I thought... Well, no, it is. You're right. You know, I thought it was playing on Xbox it went out in 1080p, but clearly it doesn't. That's okay. Alphine says they shut down so many lines. Even the buses were flooded. Mini rivers everywhere. Yeah, I've been chatting with a friend of mine that lives in New York this morning when I got up. And I saw on the news all the water and contacted her and went, so, how's it like? I'm staying home. I understand that. We're not too far from Burbank. No. Rain? Rain? In Los Angeles? No way. Doesn't happen. Isle of Wight Transport, hello. Richard says station stops would be helpful, especially when you're not too familiar with the route, or like me, when you are familiar with the route, the station you approach indicator kicks in too late.
It does on fast trains. On anything under about 50 miles an hour, I think it's quite fine, but on fast trains, yeah, it's certainly an issue. Aiden says, starting at 8:45, finishing at 11:56. What day, mate? Wipers? 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 This would be like a real train driver in LA, because they'd go, wipers? What the hell are the wipers? How do I use wipers? There's a safe in here somewhere. All these things flickering, it bothers me, all the bolts and things flickering. Or screws, sorry. Maybe they are bolts. They probably are bolts, actually. Says every time I honk, they're honking in their game. Fair enough. David says, hey Paul, still unfortunately having problems. How are you? Similar, mate. Still have my cold. It's getting better though. The symptoms from tonsillitis and bronchitis are starting to ease thanks to the ridiculous amount of antibiotics I'm taking every day. It's not a road, is it? It's a pedestrian crossing. Oh, it's a pedestrian crossing. Giant horny for you. All in America's high-speed rail. It says November 11th for the stream. That should be alright. David says this time it's an out-of-memory area. You can't win. Yes. If I try and play the game on my PC at the moment with only one stick in it, which is 16 gig, it would probably be okay. I am going to play it a bit later because I want to use the PC to stream tomorrow. Because we're doing the updated New York timetable, and I don't want to try the updated timetable on the Xbox S because I think it will be S for suck. Actually going to have to put some power on it. We're just not going to get to the end. Oh, it's sad, isn't it? Is that a stopping point? Doors open. Espresso's been sitting here. How sad. I should bring this around here a little bit, even though you can't see it. Espresso. We have one of those dinosaur trees. Quite like these. I don't know that I want one in my garden, but they look cool. They also look kind of spiky. Brakes off, and away we go. Signal did go green, which is good. Another pedestrian crossing. I suppose I should bell through that, shouldn't I? Nothing else for you, though. That's the frame rate here. Pretty poor, 28. At least it's consistent. Say something, at least the Xbox won't explode in a fit of rage halfway through. But I shouldn't say things like that, because you never know. It is just a computer. Even consoles shit themselves sometimes. Aiden likes my invisible espresso. So do I. Oh dear, Alfie, you's bad. Oh no. What happened? Sorry. Let's do typical passenger. Notch 8. Nothing to 8. That's how you do it. The kind of antics that in a freight train would rip the couplers off. How does that line off to the left go? Not very far at all. Bring it back though, because we're only allowed to do 50. High speed rail. Yay! It looks smoother on the stream than it does on the Xbox. That's weird. I do wonder if having the capture card in the middle actually does anything to it. It's a bit bare over there, isn't it? It's like I've done such a beautiful... Oops. Wrong. Done a nice job over there. That's all pretty. And they've done a nice job over there, past the wall, but over here next to the freeway, it's all very, very empty. I know it wouldn't have much there in real life, but it would have some plants and some rubbish. North, 1 mile away, not far. I should probably stop speeding up then, I think. Actually, I'll need some power because I'm going up a fairly steep gradient, aren't I? I should pay attention. Richard says he always plays on PC. He has got an Xbox controller but can't be bothered using it in conjunction with PC when playing. Old school keyboard and mouse for you. Fair enough. The controller's kind of like a poor man's rail driver in some ways. So if you haven't got a rail driver, the controller's not too bad a thing to use, but I would use it in conjunction with a keyboard, and in fact I am now. You can't see it, but it's right in front of me. Camera. If I put my fingers on the the keyboard's there, you just can't see it. Going to set up, but we probably should start thinking about slowing down for Burbank Airport. Ladies and gentlemen, next stop, Burbank Airport. If you're leaving us here for the air kind of travel, have a fun day. And don't try and take an elephant on. Take a normal sized bag like everybody else. You know the one, there's always that person that's got some ridiculously big bag they're trying to squeeze into an overhead bin. Stop now. Honest. There you go. Do Metrolink doors talk in real life? I know all the ones on Caltrain too, and VTA and Orange County's light rail, they do. The buses around Orange County definitely do, and Ventura. Sorry, Ventura. They don't call it Ventura when they're in America, they call it Ventura. Aiden says, what's your favourite loco at Puff right now? I don't know that I have a particular favourite. I have fired 8 more than I've fired anything else. 8 and I have a love-hate relationship. On some days, we get on really, really well. And we both have an excellent day. We have plenty of steam and plenty of water and plenty of heat. And on some days, I struggle to keep the dial over 150. And it's not just me she's like that with. So 1.7 miles to Sun Valley. Off we go then. Full bore. I kind of like 12 when it was black with red buffers. I have a model of 12 black with red buffers in a cupboard over there. Crossing it is. It's actually a little bit hard to tell on the Xbox. In the rain, I have to say. Rain's knocked 1 FPS off as well. Can't believe we're getting rain in California. What's going on? What's going on, global warming? Why are we getting rain? Yes, there is an invisible controller. It's kind of funny, isn't it? If I bring it up there, you'll be able to see it, I think. Green. Pretty sure the guy I acquired my Xbox S from, because I wanted to make some tutorials for the Xbox. I had access to a PlayStation 4 and a 5 because my son owns both. Oops. I've never actually gotten around to making any tutorials for PlayStation 5 because, yeah, time, life. And keys. I don't actually have keys for the... no, I do have keys for the PS4, but not for TSW4. No, no! I didn't see him, I didn't see him. We just failed. Objective failure. Well, you know, we'll just keep going then. Stop, truck. That's what's called paying proper attention. So how far is the next one? Maybe I'll keep that on. That went well. I Nebworthed it. And in case you don't know the command, you can actually... can tell Nightbot that I Nebworthed it. At least I think you can. Yes, you can. You don't have to go back anymore. One of the changes in TSW4 is if you skip an objective, you just skip it and you just keep going with the game now. I actually love that change. That's one of the best playability changes in the game. Gentlemen, if you were getting off at Sun Valley, Metrolink would like to apologise, but we hate you. Sorry. It's too annoying to have that on. Could of course run the other HUD. That would be fine. But I don't want to. Mark's also a keyboard and mouse person. Very good. Richard says all settings set to Ultra works fine on my setup. TSW4 looks really good in 4K if it is real 4K. I have a 5K ultra wide 1000R curvature screen, which is magnificent for playing. It's horrible for streaming, so when I'm streaming I run a 2K window in the middle. Couldn't get much closer to the gates there. I'm going too fast. I am going too fast. What a naughty boy I am. He's a naughty, naughty boy. wonky on Xbox, isn't it? 3 miles and a yellow signal. What gives there? But I'll pretend to not see that yellow signal until I actually get there. Hey, I normally run with everything on Ultra. And it's normally fine, but the last little while I've been having some dramas, so trying to sort that out. There's our yellow signal, so let's get some bit of brake on. How far are we from the Silmar? 2.8. Narrowly squeezes in the 4 horns. Narrowly. 2.7. Drink cactus juice, of course. Those billboards are a nod to Brandon, who, with the original public editor way back when it was available, new edit available now, not that I've actually downloaded it, I haven't touched it. Isn't that sad? It's just sad, isn't it? I should start getting it and start playing with it, but, you know, time. Got a major system going live at work. We're doing data migration this weekend and over the coming week. I have to log on again shortly and check out what my team's doing, because they're all working. I won't mention any of their names. And this is a very long honk because I've mistimed this a bit. What am I doing going into setup again? I think I've slowed down way early. I have. Let's get some speed back on. But just a nod to my team who are working this weekend. They are doing an absolutely amazing job. And they've pulled off some things that really should be impossible, and they've done it through some incredibly hard work and some ridiculously long hours. It's one of the things I like about the organisation that I work for, who I won't mention, but our people are excellent. When you need them to do something and you need them to commit everything, they just do. Keep some power on since we're going uphill. Just catching up with the chat again. Ensgrave says, and everyone that complains see the bag isn't going to fit except the owner of the bag. Yes, very much. It's just the thing. I'll actually be flying not too far away, which is one of the reasons I'm desperately trying to get better, because I'm going to Tokyo. So there'll be 2 weekends with no stream. Unless I stream from Tokyo, which is possible. I don't think I will. Because to be honest, I'm on a holiday from this too. Should be pretty close, mile away. Richard says, I've just not used to using a controller. I've tried it several times. It always goes pear-shaped. It does, if you're not used to it. At least some of the time I run the controller on... Where's it? Costco. At least some of the time I do run the controller on my PC. It's not as important anymore. Now that there's an Xbox team in beta, it doesn't matter so much, but a couple of releases went out where no one had used a controller and they didn't work. It's kind of sad. Mary Tickner says, hi, I still can't play this, so I have to wait till the end of October for the physical version of the deluxe version on PlayStation 4. Download on PlayStation 4, but if you're choosing to wait for physical media, that's cool. It can be advantageous to have physical media. The only disadvantage is as soon as you load it up, it'll probably download an update anyway. Unless you're not internet connected on your PlayStation, which would be quite possible. I imagine some people would be. I can't even see this station in the rain, you know. I assume it's here somewhere. Get power on, just saying. Squeaky wiper. It just says going back to the red signal you spattered at as a restart would be an improvement. Didn't we have that in TSW2? Only never moved in TSW3. There's a console command which you can use in God mode, which tells it to not obey SPADs, so it won't end the game. I would like it. I'd love it to make it work the way that... Which game is it? Trying to remember. There's a train game where if you SPAD, you I'm just going to keep a bit of power on here because I just realised how steep that is. 1.7%. That's a lot. I'm going to have to power into the station. But there's a game that if you SPAD, it ends that session, but you come back right before the signal and you're stopped. I can't remember what game does that, but it's really good. So it still punishes you for getting the SPAD, because the session ends, but at least you don't lose everything that you've done, which I really appreciate. I reckon that's a good idea. Oh, we don't have our tail lights on down the back. Let's just quietly fix that, shall we? Let's put a bit more brake on since we're going to get up. Let's go and put our tail lights on. Goodbye, door. You notice in the game now you have to use climb down, because if you just jump out the door you lose points. Ladies and gentlemen, your driver's just going for a jog. Can't control myself. Well, getting around these corners into the back of this car is going to be interesting, isn't it? Let's go at this door. Go upstairs here. Where's the rest of the stairs? There they are. You've got to get round past this guy. Is this... Sorry, mate. Sorry. Just got to get in a bit close there. Sorry. Didn't mean to put my crotch in your face. Tail lights. Where are they? Marker lights. There we go. Down the stairs. Everybody having a good day? Good. Am I supposed to line up with this wheelchair ramp? Probably. It's probably why it's there. Probably supposed to line up with it. Well, I kind of did. They could get half their wheelchair in. Bet you don't need that umbrella much. You gonna put it back on your head again? You gonna drop it? Yeah, you're gonna drop it again. This guy's funny. I like this guy. What are you doing, mate? Go on. Put it up. Just keep it up there. Come on. No, don't drop it again. Just put it back up. There you go. No, I don't want to give up control. This guy's funny. Oh, well. That's enough of him, I guess. Can't you just tell I'll turn that into a short later? Because it's funny. I like the funny people you encounter sometimes. Silly day. Alright. junction off my ass. Set the master control. We're going backwards. Stop train or what? Look, minimum application should be more than enough to stop you. It really should. Closing the doors might have helped. No, lock them. What's happening out here? Are they shut or not? No, they're open. What is going on here? There we go. I clearly didn't wait long enough. Alright. Brakes off, power up. 2 seconds, notch 8, off we go. Perfect. There we go. The red signal. Alphine says, what does ECS service mean in Train Sim World? Empty cars. Empty car service. Had to think about that for a moment. Off we go. Got another empty river canal next to us. I will catch up with the chat as we go. I think we've got A-level crossing coming. I think. No? Yes? I'll tell you a baby one. That wasn't worth all that effort. There's a big one coming though. Rails in Illinois says there's an exhaust mod for TSW4. Really? Is that to get more particulate? They are pretty light on the particulate coming out of here because it does bad things to consoles. I like having a keyboard on the Xbox because I can just do this normal flybys if I want to. We do have our mucker lights on now, this is good. Just let gravity take care of the fact that I'm doing 3 miles an hour over the speed limit. Oops, road crossing. I do prefer the way we do crossings because it's just like, bump, that's enough. Because if you run into a train, it's their fault. Richard says, runs fine in 4K with AMD 5600X, Asus RTX 3070 Ti and 32GB of RAM. Yeah, I normally, when my machine's happy, well, I've got 32GB of RAM as well, and it's normally fine. That whistle sign's a long way from the crossing. Boy, why don't you run through crossing, sunshine? It's bad for your health. You'll end up very short. We'll do it. Nice jerky action for the passengers there. People's coffee's all over the floor now. All good. Should just be happy that they're alive. Guessing by that yellow signal we're not far from station. A long way from the station. 5 miles. Wow. Yeah, mine's a 4080. Not a TI, just a 4080. I can't afford a TI. And it's a i9 13700, I think, K processor. I don't overclock. Even without overclocking it, I was struggling to cool the thing. corner coming up. Track change coming with a 35. I'm kind of sad that I left dynamic weather on, to be honest, because, you know, rain. It's not showing off the scenery. I like the scenery along here, it's really good. Flashing yellow. Brad says he played his first session on TSW4 last night. Is there a way to show meters of heat to the next stop in the minimal HUD? There is not. It's feedback. It's quite common feedback. There is a thread on the forums. Please jump into it and offer your opinion. I've advocated for it right through beta, but I'm not going to speed up because I've got a 30 coming anyway. I advocated for it right through beta, and I did not win the argument, which is okay. But please go and add your feedback on the forums, because I believe it's a very common need, and I believe would make the HUD excellent. Because while I do agree that you should learn the route, the reality is the majority of players are casual, and they will not. And you shouldn't be trying to force them, and saying put this thing, put the other HUD on, that's not really an answer. So go and add your voice, please. Richard says, I would like to get a rail driver. By the way, what you can do is turn on the next distance marker. It's control 1 to put that thing on. But it's quite obtrusive, and it's in the way, and it's immersion busting, and it's all sorts of things, so I don't like it. But I do pop it on occasionally just to see where I'm up to. Richard says, we'd like to get a rail driver. Prices here in Europe are ridiculous just now. I think they're ridiculous everywhere. They are very hard to find here in the EU as well. No point importing one because of import duties. Yeah, it's probably one of those things that you might pick it up when you're on holidays, because you can get them from places like Best Buy in the US. So it is possible to get one just by going into a shop. But, which is kind of cool that there's enough train simulation people out there to put them in shops. I would have thought it was more esoteric than that, but they do have them. Coming into the slow part. This is something that has always amused me about the US. The freeway maze, where multiple freeways meet, and they have all of these overpasses, going over overpasses, going over overpasses, going over overpasses, to so that you can go from one to another. One of my favourite pastimes when I lived in San Francisco was whenever someone came from Australia, I would just make them drive when I picked them up from the airport. Oh, I'm just going to leave the wipers on. Hello, Daniel Rocket Tower. Hello, Neil TV8. You found the same guy. Cool. Ensgrave, be nice to him. He's probably not used to an umbrella in years. He's probably prone to dropping it. Yeah, I think so. I think people around the Los Angeles and the inner valley of California, they probably don't even own an umbrella, to be honest. They have no need for it. It just doesn't rain. Richard says, I'm hoping for a quick fix of the Creators Club online sharing hub liveries subscribed in TSW3 not rendering correctly in TSW4. Dovetail's looking at it. Yeah, I saw a post about that. It's not a great thing. One of the challenges is that we can't actually beta test Creators Club. I mean, you kind of can, but it's a different Creators Club. It's not the public one. And it always seems to work. And the reason we can't beta test it, if you have to think about it, is let's say I was putting a livery on this locomotive and it hadn't even been announced that it turned up in Creators Club. Should probably turn this wiper off, but, you know, the game will then punish me and say I didn't use the wipers in the rain and I'll lose points. New York says, Dovetail announced they're working on an Xbox crashing fix. I'm happy they're aware of the issue. That's good. So that's when you've got too many DLCs. Well, not that there's any such thing as too many DLCs. I shouldn't put it that way, should I? It's when you have whatever number of DLCs you select to have installed, it should work. It shouldn't be your problem to meter how many DLCs you have installed. I actually have an interesting problem with this Xbox, which I haven't sorted out as yet, because I have actually told it to download the TSW3 DLCs, and it has, but they don't turn up in the menu, which is a little bit boring. Hello, train. Hi there. That's a bit quick, I think. I think those points would take a little bit longer than that to prove themselves, but that's alright. Why let reality get in the way of these things? Beelzebub. Are we going for station? Not too far now. I'll leave that on for a little while, so I don't try not to mess this one up. Well, the dynamics actually work in this. I haven't tried them on Xbox before, only on PC. New York says he only has American DLC installed right now. Yeah, I could understand that. John Hudson, hello. Has anyone figured out the safety systems in Antelope Valley? There is only one. There's the alerter. It's a real crossing. It is. I'm glad the rain's stopping and starting to clear up. Let's get a little bit of brake on as well, because it is quite steep. Let's give it all the dynamics. Maybe not match much dynamics. They're working too well. The next stop I'll show you where the alerter switch is. John Hudson T. The clouds look nice. To Newell. In Australia I'd call that New Hall, and in America I guess it's Newell. stop, train? Yeah. Come on. You can stop now. Honest. It's gonna be alright. So see, jamming on all the dynamics. The last moment there, just to make sure it did. Let's get the dynamics off. Let's get the bell off. Let's stand up and I'll go and show you where the switch is to turn on the alerter. I don't have it on at the moment because I discovered that you can't hear it outside the train and I don't want to get stuck again. So down there's a fuse. You can just turn that on. So alerter on. Or, come on, or alerter off. So it only has the alerter as a safety system. It claims to have ATC, but it doesn't really because the route doesn't. Alright then. Time to go. Doors are now shut. Go get some power on. Brakes off. We're on a downhill actually. Frame rate when I'm doing that. Ooh, sub 20. That's unpleasant. Thought it looked a little low. Makes me remember my old PC. I used to get sub 20 when I was streaming. When I wasn't streaming, I'd get in the 30s, but when I was streaming, it was quite problematic. Yes, I know I should stay in setup for 10 seconds. But I just didn't. It's supposed to be going 50 round this corner. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh well. It's all good. We'll just pretend that didn't happen, shall we? Whee! Nothing to see here, it's fine, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. It's all good. How far's our station? Not far to go, there's no point speeding up anyway. 39, that's an interesting speed limit. New York, Texas Railroad, I usually put the train into suppression a mile away from the station. Really? You shouldn't have to. It's not exactly a heavy train. Alphine says, are you playing on a controller? I am! Is it going to show you? Yeah, kinda. I'm actually playing on Xbox, and I just ran through a level crossing. I probably should just crush some poor confused American that goes, but he didn't sound the horn, no. He didn't relieve me of my responsibility. It says, I do like the sound of the F125. At some speeds it spits and hisses its way along. It also sounds good at high speed. Yeah, I don't mind it actually. It's quite an interesting locomotive. It's a very different sound to a lot of them. T says there's positive train control and automatic train stop fuses as well in the second row of fuses, square light button on the dash. Yeah, they're not actually implemented. I kind of wish they were, because I'd like to reskin this locomotive and use it as an Amtrak on things like Sherman Hill. That would be really handy. While it isn't strictly the same, it's pretty... Whoops, let's go up there. It's pretty close. So, you know, skinned out as an Amtrak, I reckon it would look alright. We're going to a big steep downhill before we get to this station, aren't we? Alphine plays on mouse and keyboard. I should pop up a poll, it could be interesting. How many people are in the chat? There's probably enough to get a relatively meaningful poll. It says there are many interesting speed limits ending in 9 in this route. While this train's stopping, let's pop up a quick little poll. Why not? Not that. Oh. See what comes of that. Welcome to Santa Clarita. It's interesting, there's a 4-car stop here, but it wants me to stop up there, doesn't it? This is going to do, I'm afraid. We're stopping at the 4-car board, because that's what we've got. There you get, folks. Robert Jowett says, I'm having a bowl of sausage and vegetable soup. That sounds quite nice. Don't make me hungry, it's still morning here. It's only 9:47. Tomorrow's stream will start the usual time for me, different time for you, because daylight saving starts tonight here. Thinking about it left doors. And yes, the F125 is supposed to be environmentally friendly. You troll! No, I can't. Get thrown out of there. One thing I miss with Rail Driver that I don't have on the Xbox is have another speed limit display for when you're outside the train. didn't judge that too badly though. 28 was at his own. That's not too bad. Alfine says, I like how there's a camera in the train cab. Daniel laughs because he's making me hungry. New York Texas Railroad says Tier 4 emissions a California state requirement. I don't think it's such a bad thing though. Not such a bad thing to have a clean locomotive, I think. Says the guy that fires steam engines. But, you know, I do try to be clean. Hello, Burke. Welcome. Burke, working on the rails today? The coal-fired steam engines, this sounds weird, but they're not actually as environmentally unfriendly as you think. Because the most of the gases that come off the coal do actually burn quite cleanly if you're firing it well enough. And most of what you see coming out of the smokestack is steam. It's the vast majority of it. And when it is smoky, the particulate's so large that it usually just falls on the ground. It contributes carbon into the soil. So it sounds a bit weird to say that they're not all that dirty, but they're not. 2 miles to go. Has this thing got a horn sequencer? It does. I think they're going fast enough. I know horn sequencers have a minimum speed. But I'm not going all that hard because I've got yellow signals. And I'm being nice. Night shift for you, Burke. Fantastic. Oh, there goes the horn sequencer. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Does it only do it once, or does it do it over and over again? It's just going to keep doing it, isn't it? Turn that off. Oh wait, you. Fortunately, it did actually stop. I think we're probably fairly close to Princessa. 1.5 miles. Not too bad. Frame rate hell. Yes. I'd love to have an Xbox X, but I really can't justify the cost. Even this I bought second-hand, the Xbox S. I bought it from a guy who I'm pretty sure was just looking for his next fix. How we're out in the middle of nowhere and they need a fence around their signal installation. Help us out on our way into the station. We approach via Princessa. That braking just a little late. Not so late that I'm worried about it, because it's going to be okay. In fact, I can even release a bit. Maybe I didn't leave it late. Felt late, but clearly not. It'll do the job. The zombies. But people just vanish. They're the ones that used to shoot up into the sky in Train Sim World 2. If anybody's acceleration goes over 5 meters per second, they just get deleted. Be nice. I'll wait for these last people to get in before I lock up. You missed out. Oh no. Should I let them in? I'll let them in. I only get one train an hour through here. No, you don't want to get in. Alright. Well, bugger you then. Says the passengers look awfully well dressed in the desert. Yep. Yep, that they do. Signal has gone yellow, which is good. We are, of course, back in the rain. Lovely. And T says walking through the doorway with umbrellas up. Yeah. Only smart people shake them off outside. Vista Canyon next, which is a while away. How are we doing on the map? Halfway? Verge signal, I think, from memory. Maybe. Red over yellow. And a crossing by looks of things. See if they open. They do. Cool. See you later, you Burke. You never know if it rains through the roof of a train sim. I have seen that. I have seen rain inside carriages. I think it's the... There's one of the UK locos that actually rains in the cab. Maybe the Class 20, I think? The one that blows its horn for crossings. Getting a good soaking today. Truck comes back. Looks like we might have a cross coming up because we're oh no, it's at the station, isn't it? We're actually not that far out. I thought we were further out than that. From Vista Canyon, which won't be much of a vista today, I'm afraid, with the rain. One of the cool things with the God mod, yes, you do get fog inside the train sometimes, John Hudson T. One of the cool things about the God mod, if you try it, is you can actually change the weather on the fly. So if it starts raining and you don't want it to, you just tell it to stop. It's cool. You can do that with the Unreal console too, but you don't get the console in the build versions, unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching Vista Canyon. Please look out the left side of the train and see pretty much nothing. Please look out the right side of the train and see pretty much nothing. Metrolink would like to apologise for this to be the only rain that's happened in California in the last 275 years. The other parts of the route were high-speed rail. There are times when this locomotive almost sounds like the diesel stops, and I've heard it in real life too. It makes me wonder if it's got a big bunch of batteries in it and it shuts the diesel down sometimes. I haven't looked into that, but I have seen quite a few videos on YouTube where the F125 is quite quiet. Vista Canyon, doors will open on the left side. Vincent Grade, Acton. Let's have a look at how we've done with this poll too. Let's end the poll. Result was most people using key and mouse. There we go. people had floods in Lancaster. Well, there you go. Maybe this rain's realistic. That is possible, isn't it? Ooh, bit of lightning. It's the challenge with the desert environment is when they do get any rain, it doesn't soak in, it just runs off. So yes, flash flooding is quite common in the desert. It appears and disappears equally quickly though. What do people think of the haptic feedback in the controller these days? This 18 miles. It'll be a little while. It'll come up by surprise and we'll end up driving straight through it probably. People joining in the poll. That might say is that most of the people watching are PC people, I guess. It's the Daleks saying Doctor Who. Accelerate. It's almost what they say. Nearly. Wasn't worth it. Rolling up the mountains now. Out in the middle of nowhere. Bit of brake on. It's an interesting bridge coming up, isn't it? Kind of like a miniature Golden Gate. Slightly wonky at the end there. Oh, it's a water bridge for water and sewer pipes. Or potentially oil, but probably water. Richard says he thought he would have been in the minority using keyboard and mouse. It's probably just an indication of how many PC players versus console players that are on the stream today. You certainly can use a keyboard and mouse on the Xbox. On the PlayStation, I think you can plug in a keyboard, but I don't think you can plug in a mouse. This looks like a prison off to the left here, doesn't it? Except for the big truck. All that effort for such a little road. Yep. Wasn't a bad guess, was it? 3 miles? Could always pop up a call about... But why not? Why don't we do a console versus PC poll? Not adding a console flavour because I don't want to start a war. On which one's better? I've played the game on both. It's actually pretty similar on both consoles from what I've found. We go through the mountains. And I just heard the noises from my work PC that suggest someone's just started a meeting, which is an interesting thing for a Saturday. Don't think I'll join it somehow. Unless they ring me and they desperately need something. Daniel says he's got a Bluetooth keyboard to use with controller on the PlayStation. Very cool. Yeah, Bluetooth's probably the way to go generally with a console if you're sitting on the couch watching it on the TV, I would imagine the majority of console players do. My Xbox actually sitting right next to the PC. I just use another monitor, which is why I turn sideways, because my real monitor's up here and my Xbox one's over here. It's also the monitor I use for my work PC. Because we are still, most of the time, working from home. Radio mouse there, and coming into a tunnel. It's that funny little thing on the ground there. That would be a defect detector, but it doesn't work clearly. Would love to get defect detectors in the game, that would be awesome. Do you know, I should have put a second thing on that, shouldn't I? I should have put PC, console, or both. Because I doubt I'm the only one that plays on both, so maybe if you just put down what you play primarily on. So far, pretty similar percentages to platformers there are using controller, which I guess isn't that surprising. Probably down to about, what's the guess, 12 miles? Ah, wrecked it, 14. that the 5 freeway over there? I guess it is. 101 runs up the coast and the 5 runs up the centre, if I remember rightly. Coming off the power, I'll make gravity slow us down a bit. So we have another 35 section coming up in a moment. C is sitting on 62% right now, so yeah, it's pretty similar, isn't it? If you mix those numbers up. I've never tried. I've never actually tried to plug the rail driver into an Xbox. It doesn't actually have any drivers, it's just a general input device. I wonder. Although today's Xbox doesn't actually run Windows. Today's Xbox runs a Linux variant. Going slow enough yet, I wonder? Ooh, maybe a little bit too slow. Maybe a lot too slow, in fact. I think your defect detector is a track lubricator, says John Hudson. That's quite possible. Daniel said, now having a bowl of lamb and veg soup. You are on the money today. The fact that you're having lamb puts you in one of 3 countries. In most likelihood. Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. It's coming up. We lived in America, occasionally Costco would get the Australian lamb roast. And it cost about a day's pay to get one, but we still did. Because just missed it. Sense if that's a rail greaser near a very tight corner, or a flange greaser anyway. You don't want to grease the rail head, only the flange. Reduces wear. Doesn't really change the grip very much as long as it doesn't squeeze out onto the head. If it squeezes out onto the head, it's not good. Diesels have flange sticks on them. Whenever the bogies turn to their extremes, grease sticks touch the flanges. So when it's going around one of the really tight corners, it gets a little bit of a helping hand. John Hudson T says detectors have aerials and run 8, they talk to you, they never shut up. They do indeed talk to you. And there are times there are times on stream when I actually run the the radio sessions. 11 miles. In fact, let me see if I can actually find one. Watching it on the stream at the moment, which is just a slight lag, so be a little bit careful. Here we go, on 27 miles. Got one here. Central Valley, that would be it. No, Lancaster. Lancaster, Chihapi East. Leaves the list, which better play with. Because what I'll do is I'll mix in the sounds. That still seems to be going okay. It's a bit slow. I'll give it a little boost. Speed. All that. It doesn't do anything bad to the stream. And then I'll get railroadradio.net running and I'll blend it in and add it as an audio source. Playing now. Not much traffic on it though. It's hard to tell. And I'll just make it come out on chat, and then you guys will be able to hear it. Chat. See if it actually does it. Have chat in the stream mix now, so if it actually does anything, we'll hear it. I won't though. If we get any traffic, you'll hear it. If we don't get any traffic, we won't. I won't hear it because I'm not listening to that source. Probably could listen to the sound on the PC, but I think I probably could. I can do that. Hang on a tick. No sound going out at all, maybe? No, I do. Nah, we'll see. It should work. If it ever says anything, it should actually work. So we'll see. Yeah, where am I? Controller. Here we are. Let's get some speed up. Going, geez, this is a slow trip up the hill. Exactly what we want. Very, very tight corners here. The creepy man's back. The van that should have free candy written on it. my window. How are we going for distance? 10 miles. Have it on the map. Quite a ways. I think we're going to make this well inside the stream time frame. I haven't seen the Lancaster player actually do anything, so if it says something, let me know. I'll see it turn up in the VR meters, but I won't hear anything myself. But if it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's fine. Why speeding again? What a naughty, naughty boy. Can't make up my mind. Too fast, too slow, too fast, too slow. I don't mind the cab car on these because it actually looks like a locomotive. It doesn't look like someone put the controls for a train into one side of a passenger car as an afterthought. Ooh. I can hear it talking, but I don't see it going through onto the chat. Let me just do something else. That does. I can definitely hear it talking, but I'm not seeing it going out. Oh, that's why. Now look. And it stopped talking as soon as I fixed it. Oh well. You'll hear it soon enough.
Westbound coming in the boron. Yeah, we're pulling up, so we're just gonna there for you. Hey, roger that.
There you go. Now you've got Lancaster radio happening, actually going out to you. It's probably illegal, but let's not worry about that. Finally going out. Excellent. It's a very powerful locomotive, the F125, because it really doesn't work very hard going uphill. Scenery's looking better. It's a bit less populous than the PC version, I think, scenery-wise. It's not drawing everything. crossing track. Straight. The reason for the slow speed in this area is the tight curves. It's quite mountainous terrain, and they're very, very tight corners.
Router the BNSF 7064, main 1.
Whistleboard's a little early for this crossing. Such a pissy little crossing too. I reckon this crossing would get something more like this. That'd be about it. Naughty again. It's not a bad frame rate area, isn't it? 18. Ooh, that is pretty low. Anybody ever looked at the back of one of these? There it is. They are a dove trailer. Isn't that sad? Grave says might have to put a BR 101 on this route. Oh, why not? You can do it in free roam and you can annoy the timetable. Should pick up a bit of speed too. Being a bit lax. Not that far from Vincent Grade now, 6 miles away. It's a long run with nothing. Are we on the map? We're getting there.
Alright, conductor will stay on here. He'll get off at the street. What's that?
Big weeds in the middle of the track there.
Just pull it up that far.
Speed down for the corner. There we go. Success. upstairs, were they floating or was it just the way you had the camera? What was floating?
20.
Didn't actually notice. What time is it in the stream? I can go back and have a look. It is 2:03. Go back and have a look. If there's something floating, I'll report it.
Yeah, about that.
What do you mean with the trailers floating? The Winnebagos. I don't think they are, it just looks funny. It's great. Oh, the vehicles. No, I don't think they were floating. I think it was just the camera angle. Hensgrave says, put an HST on ECML today, East Coast Main Line, but didn't get a score screen at the end, just stopped at destination to score at the top right. Couldn't find a way to claim points. I don't think it does if you're doing that in free roam. I don't think you do actually get a score.
Breaking up, say a couple. Couple more.
Still got 4 carriages. Consoles have motion blur on. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I'm set in center. Let's start blowing. Hang on. Come up. It's an emergency. Here comes the fence. Here we go, here.
Like this stuff populated along the side of the tracks here. Going up a pretty heavy gradient now. Grave says it's a bit odd. I can understand not getting medals, but shame to spend the time to lose 20k
Kind
points.
of way you can tie it down.
Do you get points for your own scenarios if you make a scenario? If you do, then I'll feed back about free roam not having it. Hensgrave says maybe if I take over a normal service afterwards I could just add the points. Well, that'd be interesting. But it would.
5875, commit over. Yeah, I think I heard you say something about an air hose there. Did you figure out what your problem was over?
If you get points for your own scenarios, free roam should be consistent with that, I would think. Because really all you're doing in free roam is effectively bunging in a quick drive scenario.
Alright, did he happen to give you the 2 cars there over? Yeah, ask him if you copied him down there over.
They're chatting away again in Lancaster.
I did. Said he'll get him when he walks back by him. And
2 miles away.
just tell him I'll need the car numbers, A end or B end, and if you have to make any corrections to anything like secure them again with zip ties, or if you noticed any other defects, or if everything looked good, they're over.
One of the interesting things about trying to think outside the box when you're testing stuff is you will never think outside the box as far as another player will. Adds up the points and logs them, but they're worthless. Feed that back. I'm sure it is doing it that way, but it sounds a bit weird. Oh, shouldn't I? Forgot about it. Didn't change much. Pretty much stayed on PC. And it does gel with who was playing with the controller and who wasn't. There might be one person playing with a controller on a PC looking at that, maybe. Or that might be a rail driver person, actually. At least 2 rail driver people who answered the question.
They found. Here it is.
Router answering 8045. East Main 4, LAC NSA. I'll get you guys offered up. Signal indication when you get out of safe trip.
Welcome to Vincent Grade Acton, which is quite a pretty little station. It's kind of a cross between a western town and a Mexican fruit stand. Lots of shelters for those hot inner valley days. And the occasional wet ones like today.
Got a good marker, Tom? Marker, thanks for the help, guys. George.
I guess this is a commuting town. The people that want a decent sized home on a decent sized property. Hensgrave says, can you ask us why the old BR Class 47 Heritage Run train on East Coast Main Line is a loco with no carriages? Unusual. I can. It might be meant that way. There are a lot of light engine moves. Look, someone just flew up in the sky then. Roll back there. True passenger style, straight into Notch 8. Yeah, that one's a bank. Supposedly. Sheriff. Too fast to read. 2 dynamic brakes. Look at all the dynamic brakes. As we descend the hill here, how far away is Palmdale? 5 miles. Not too far off the end of the run now, if I remember rightly. It's quite strong with this one. Rain's starting to ease up. We're seeing a little bit of sunlight come out. Good to see. Daniel says Clark Kent must be around. Yes. What's that up in the sky? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a dovetail passenger. It happens to humans occasionally too. First time I got into Flying Scotsman, the collision box wasn't quite set up properly and I sat in the driver's seat. And let's just to say I discovered that the moon actually is modelled in Unreal, because that's where I went. Just shot out of my chair, straight up, away from the Earth, all the way to the moon. I could see it was sort of heading for this bright spot, so I just let it go and let it run for about... It took about 4 hours for it to get to the moon, but it got there. It's kind of funny. Soon there'll be Unreal space travel. Need to wipers anymore, do we? People in the carriages going, ooh, that's good. It stopped raining because I didn't bring my umbrella.
All I got was status, John. Mine's up here.
What's the frame rate gone? It's picked up 5 FPS just from the rain stopping. And it's much smoother now on the drive-by. It's quite amazing. Some work going on over there. Ooh, that's eating the frame rate. All that moving activity back there. Ubiquitous water tower. We're doing 4 miles. I'll probably let it speed up a little bit now. Still be driving through at this point. This town must love the railway. Says it would be nice to choose dynamic weather, but I have a tick box for no rain or snow just to get cloud and fog changes. That would be interesting. Depends on the time of year you play. If you don't play in the colder months, you won't get any snow. center station.
On dispatch 250, over.
It's a little early, I think.
Yeah,
It's got very steep all of a sudden. The Amtrak Northeast Regional train from with weak train Wi-Fi. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, well, that's not true at all. We'll work on this, what RMCC thinks or what they say. I mean, we're well aware that you're in UD. It's just that they didn't know that you're in UD. But yeah, these are law enforcement officers. Your ID is requested, but what's yours? Is it, do they have a name? You know the sheriff department? Okay. And then I have you at milepost 445.73. Is that about right, or? Are you blocking a crossing, or?
Such a friendly little thing. You end up hearing it on stream. I'll pause it. So you're probably hearing it a little bit. Squeezes in the 4. Did I see what I think I saw there? Do you get the impression that someone planted a level crossing and then someone else came along and made the road bigger? Looks that way, doesn't it? That's a bit weird. I think I'll report that one.
Okay. Well, I'll call RMCC. Let them know that we're well aware of it. Dispatch 50 out.
Stephen Martin. It's got to be a patch or something. This game just keeps crashing. What platform are you on, Stephen? I've had some troubles with it on my PC, but it's actually the PC, not the game. Because it's not the only game that shits itself. Also need to do a rather large photo processing job this weekend. And unless I can get this thing fixed, I may not be able to. Oops, station. This could be a little closer than I like, really. I'm going to stop before the signal, but I'm going to slightly Nebworth the station. It'll be okay. Xbox Series S. How many DLC do you have installed? There is a known issue at the moment that if you have a lot of DLC installed, it does actually crash quite a bit. If you reduce your number of DLC, I've got 4 installed currently, and that seems to be going okay. We've made it this far, so we're 2 hours into the stream, I think. 2 hours 24 minutes into the stream, and it's not crashed, and I'm running on Xbox Series S. I'll just let these last people get in because I'm nice, but they just keep on coming. But wait, there's more. There's more. Well, come on then. Probably the only train you'll see for a week. Come on, hurry up, get in there. You're making us late, but don't let that worry you too much. 5 minutes to get to the last station. It's amazing how many people want to go to the end of the line.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with RMCC.
They did. There's more up there.
Miscommunication. They told us.
They just keep
They
coming.
told the sheriff's department that the
You know what,
train was
mate, you're just too
broke down,
slow.
and as soon
You
as
just
it
stayed
gets
behind to
fixed,
get your
but
coffee.
There's no restrictions. Are you being prevented from departing or?
Let's get the brakes off. Let's go straight into Notch 8 because we're in a 79 mile an hour there. Or not. Coffee Man finally gets to the train.
No, just comply with the officer, give him the ID, but as long as, are you done with the sheriff's deputy order?
Waited for that latte, mate. You should have just gone for the train like a normal person.
Okay. Well, just let me know. Otherwise, when you're ready, just, take off, and then I'll get caught up with the conductor with the air hose and the car number over.
It's in a masked game.
Thanks, Fresh, good deal.
250, you still there?
Stop is Lancaster, and that will be the end of the stream today. And I will go back to trying to make my PC work better. And I'll check in at work and just make sure that everybody's going okay with the massive data migration that we're doing. Stephen says, all of them, I know that's the problem, but it seems far less stable than Train Sim World 3. Look, it potentially is, because it's got the DLC manager in it now as well. But what I'd suggest is maybe untick half of the DLC and see how you go with that. And see if that helps you or not. That might make the game a bit more pleasant to play. It's not a good answer, I know. It's a very poor answer. But just see how you go on minimising the DLC. So maybe, you know, pick top 6 or something like that that you actually want to play. Just stick with that for a little while until they bring out a patch. They are aware of it. I know they're working on it.
Calling EBLA, Space, good TR.
BNSF 8383 north over.
Dead branch line. Does it go? Anyone?
83 north, go ahead, R.
BNSF 8383 north, looking to make TCS 7737 operative.
TCS 7737 is
Yeah, there it's
now
probably
operative,
got
or?
Copy, TCS 7737 now operative. Here we go.
Train 9, go over.
Not a key train, no light.
Crossing, but it got the 4 horns anyway.
3281 on
The
your
4 horns of the apocalypse. Sounded like it was a big Y.
And this is the 1525 crew, over.
Yes, sir, that's correct. 1525, 1525.
Eyeball Mojave, over.
Eyeball Mojave, here we go.
Spit you out.
Tupotless. Of course. That makes sense. Ads that aren't ads. Funny horn on the Xbox is actually the way it reads the keyboard. Hello, Trainmaster, welcome. You've turned up just in time for being near the end. But that's okay, you can always rewind it and run the full 2 hours if you want to. Pretty well, how about yourself? Just come out of dynamics now and let it speed up a little. We are running on Xbox Series S today. We did a full run from Los Angeles to Lancaster. It's definitely not as good on Xbox, I've decided. It's really meaty on PC.
7649.
It's actually worth joining my Discord now, by the way. It's quite chatty. So I picked up in the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's become quite an interesting discussion. To run into this billboard. Vincent. Very naughty. Where's that naughty boy then? See how well the dynamics slow us down if we go to full dynamics.
Router answering 65.
The red signal there, I'm not going to wait to find out.
I'll get you guys offered up. Signal indication when you get out. Safe trip.
It's not very far from Lancaster, and I really don't want to run right through the end of it.
Calling the ability, smash to 50R.
Passengers, we are now Lancaster. Please collect your belongings, children, service animals, toys, creature comforts, and take them with you.
See what I can do.
Anything left on the train
call you
will
back,
be
or?
eaten or sold or misappropriated as appropriate.
50 out.
They come to be noisy as us. Very good.
00. Axel L177. Signal 177. Now we're looking for burnt brake shoes, retainer valve in correct position, or handbrake set. If nothing found, running set and release. Letting us know what you find, and I'm getting parts of the
Promising. I think we're okay. I'm not going to run into the buffers. I love that there's a red signal there. That's just funny. Imagine it if it went green. That'd be funny.
So Alpha Oscar Kilo 74.
Last stop, Lancaster. Get off me train.
74600. Over.
Wait and see how we did. And then we'll finish up for today. Tomorrow I'll be running the New York Trenton timetable, at least I hope to. I need to get my PC happy again before I try to do that, because that timetable's going to stress the crap out of it. And I'd like to give you a good show, not a WTF show. So I don't want to make the game seem bad when in reality it's not. It's my computer. So I need to get that sorted out. There's a link to the Discord just come out in the chat, Althine. Ensgrave, I agree. End of run spads are the worst, especially on the German routes. You're tooling along at 200 kilometers an hour and you go, oh no, I'm near the end. Not that that ever happens. I think there's some people stuck there, don't you? Just a bit stuck. Oh well, we'll help them out. We'll lock the doors. That'll solve them. There we go. They'll just move on their way now. Apart from those two that are still stuck, getting in and out, 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 in and out. That solved it. Was speeding a little bit there. Lost quite a lot of points for speeding, actually. Correct cap setup, I got quite a bit. Used the safety systems not applicable. And a platinum. Look at that. I think it's a platinum, or is it a silver? I think it's a platinum. Anyway, all good. So, hope you guys are having a lovely weekend. My apologies for the vacuum cleaner that's just turned up to join us and interfere with things and make lots of noise, because that's what vacuum cleaners do. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, for the New York Trenton new timetable. I'm about to go and spend some money and buy some RAM, since it seems to be working okay with one stick, which suggests the other one might be a bit crap. Anyway, have fun. See you later. Bye. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments, because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.